Coronation Street has unveiled a preview of the emotional turning point that transforms Sarah Platt's gripping storyline. After spending weeks hiding her involvement in Theo Silverton's death, Sarah finally reaches her limit and decides she can no longer keep the secret. During next week's episodes, she opens up to her boyfriend Kit Green and admits everything. The powerful moment unfolds when Sarah arrives back at her apartment and discovers that Kit has prepared a heartfelt surprise. Believing the time has come to take their relationship to the next level, Kit confesses how deeply he loves Sarah before getting down on one knee to ask her to marry him. Unable to accept his proposal while carrying such a devastating secret, Sarah breaks down in tears and confesses that she was responsible for Theo's death. Her shocking admission leaves Kit speechless and raises serious questions about whether their relationship can survive. Viewers know that Kit has spent weeks trying to identify the person behind Theo's murder. His main suspicion has been Gary Windass, whose suspicious behavior was actually caused by his efforts to help Sarah conceal what really happened. Although Kit has now been removed from the murder investigation, the situation becomes even more complicated. He desperately wants to protect Sarah, but he no longer has any influence over the police inquiry. Tina O'Brien believes Kit's feelings for Sarah could push him into making difficult choices. She suggested that, because of his complicated relationship with Gary, Kit might even allow Gary to take the blame if it meant keeping Sarah safe. The actress also admitted she fears what could happen if Sarah were sent to prison. She explained that Sarah's gentle personality could make her an easy target among dangerous inmates, especially if other prisoners discovered that her partner works as a police officer. Coronation Street is set to deliver an emotional and suspense-filled episode next week as a major new storyline places Betsy Swain's life in serious danger. Newly released preview scenes reveal the heartbreaking aftermath of a shocking incident that leaves her loved ones fearing the worst. The drama begins when Betsy is discovered unconscious at home by Ryan Connor. Realizing something is terribly wrong, Ryan immediately calls for medical help, and Betsy is rushed to the hospital in a critical condition. The frightening emergency leaves both Lisa and Carla overwhelmed with worry as they struggle to understand how such a normal day could suddenly turn into a nightmare. A newly released preview shows Carla rushing into the hospital moments after learning the devastating news. Clearly shaken by the situation, she desperately searches for information, hoping someone can explain what has happened to Betsy. Ryan, who is the one to find her, admits that he still has very few answers. He explains that when he arrived, Betsy was lying unconscious on the kitchen floor. The tap had been left running, making it appear that she may have collapsed unexpectedly while she was in the middle of doing something. Despite replaying the moment in his mind, Ryan cannot work out exactly what caused the terrifying incident. Carla finds it almost impossible to believe. She recalls seeing Betsy only a short time earlier, remembering how cheerful and full of energy she had been. The pair had even shared a light-hearted conversation over breakfast, making the sudden medical emergency seem even more confusing. Carla struggles to accept that someone who appeared perfectly healthy only hours before is now fighting for her life in a hospital bed. Ryan gently leads Carla through the hospital corridors to Betsy's bedside, where the family hopes doctors will soon provide some long-awaited answers. However, uncertainty continues to surround the situation, leaving everyone anxiously waiting for updates on her condition. Producers have deliberately kept the exact reason behind Betsy's collapse a closely guarded secret, ensuring that viewers remain guessing as the storyline unfolds. While the cause of her medical emergency remains unknown, tensions quickly begin to rise among those closest to her. Lisa soon becomes convinced that Betsy's boyfriend, Dylan Wilson, is somehow connected to the shocking incident. Her growing suspicions lead to a series of emotional confrontations as she demands answers about what really happened. Lauren Bolton also begins to question Dylan's involvement, adding further pressure as accusations continue to mount. According to official teasers, the mystery surrounding Betsy's collapse will gradually unfold over the coming episodes. As emotions run high and relationships are tested, the family desperately searches for the truth. At the same time, Betsy is forced to face a life-changing medical diagnosis that will have lasting consequences for both her future and the people closest to her. Liam McCheyne has previously hinted that Dylan will be at the center of one of the soap's biggest storylines of the year. He revealed that viewers can expect an emotional coming-of-age plot featuring plenty of scenes with Betsy, while exploring a powerful issue-based story that reflects the kind of hard-hitting drama Coronation Street is well known for. Coronation Street has hinted at a far darker side to newcomer Ross as his real intentions begin to emerge. While he initially appeared to be a man hoping to reconnect with the son he had never known, recent events suggest he may be willing to manipulate and threaten others to get exactly what he wants. Ross recently arrived on the cobbles and was revealed to be Tyrone Dobbs' biological father after decades of absence. His unexpected appearance immediately created tension, especially for Cassie Plummer, who had no idea who he was when they first crossed paths in a hotel bar. Unaware of his identity, Cassie enjoyed a few drinks and ended up flirting with him before eventually going their separate ways. Everything changed once Cassie spotted Ross's name on a receipt and realized exactly who he was. The shocking discovery led to another meeting, this time with Tyrone present. During the emotional encounter, Tyrone finally came face to face with the father who had been missing from his life for more than 40 years. Rather than welcoming Ross into his life, Tyrone made it clear that he had no interest in building a relationship. He bluntly rejected the newcomer, insisting he had managed perfectly well without a father for decades and saw no reason to change that now. The painful rejection left Ross deeply disappointed, but instead of respecting Tyrone's decision, he quickly chose a far more sinister path. Later, Ross confronted Cassie in the corner shop and used their awkward encounter at the hotel against her. He warned that unless she agreed to help him, he would reveal everything about her drunken flirtation to both Steve McDonald and Tyrone. Faced with the threat of exposing her embarrassing mistake, Cassie found herself trapped in an impossible situation. Ross demanded that Cassie persuade Tyrone to give him another chance, believing she could influence her son into changing his mind. Rather than trying to earn Tyrone's trust honestly, Ross attempted to force the situation through intimidation and emotional pressure. His behavior suggested he was prepared to manipulate anyone who stood between him and the relationship he wanted. Cassie was visibly shaken by Ross's threats, and her reaction hinted that there could be more history between the pair than viewers currently know. She seemed genuinely frightened by his behavior, raising questions about whether there are secrets from the past that have yet to be revealed. With Cassie expected to leave Coronation Street later this year, speculation is already growing that Ross could play a significant role in her departure. Although the exact circumstances remain under wraps, his increasingly aggressive actions suggest he may create serious problems for Cassie before she leaves Weatherfield. Her anxiety became even more obvious when she struggled to remain in the same room as Ross after introducing him to Tyrone. Unable to hide her discomfort, she quietly walked away, knowing that Ross now held damaging information that could destroy both her relationship with Steve and her standing with her family.